Yeah guys, the next topic is string class in C sharp. So normally in C sharp, strings can be called as immutable because once if you assign any value in string, so you cannot modify that value. So even though if two variables are using the same string, system will map that particular address. It is not going to allot new address. So let me show you that. Just give me one moment. Let me open Visual Studio. Yeah guys, now you can see. Suppose if you take a string some s1 is equal to, so in console write line, if I write s1 dot, there is a method called concat. So concat of test some string. Okay, so if you execute this particular code, so in the output you can, sorry, let's do concat by using the double quotes. Okay, yeah, now you can see I am concatenating a string by using the plus, so it was concatenated, there is no doubt at all. So after that, again, if you are, whenever you are printing the original string, the old value is not getting modified because, so the strings are immutable, they won't modify on fly. So now if you take a string builder, the strings which are constructed by string builder, sb.append, let's concatenate the same string again. So now if I execute, I can see the same result, correct? Now let's get print the original. I mean to say the strings which are constructed by using the SB string builder. Sorry, this is how we need to observe. So when you print the original string, also the old string was modified because the strings which are constructed by string builder are not immutable. The strings which are constructed by using the regular string are immutable. They cannot modify the value. Always whenever you are assigning a new value, it is going to allocate a new memory location. So that is the reason we call them strings are immutable even in C sharp or everywhere. Now this we already discussed that string is a class. It contains several predefined methods also, so we are trying to cover them. So this is similar to our SQL string functions, and predefined string functions are there, right? So we have similarly that one. Now you can see s1 dot to upper, it is going to print the string in uppercase. So like the same, s1 dot to lower, it is going to print in lowercase. Let's observe this. So it is going to print in uppercase, this is going to print in lowercase. So like the same, we have s1 dot reverse, so where the string is going to be printed in a reverse order. Oh sorry guys, reverse we need to use the function, direct method we cannot use. You can use this one, substring, sub a string substring of 2. So this is the starting index, this is 0 1 and 2. From a we are trying to print the remaining string, so that is what the substring. So substring also have one more option, from the index how many characters we want to print. This we already seen in SQL also. From 2 I just want to print 6 characters, that means 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So you can see this one. Now so we have the function length, where it is going to calculate the number of characters inside the string. So totally including the space we have 15 characters. And we have s1 dot replace. Replace is a function where you can replace a single letter or you can replace a character also. Now you can see, so wherever there is letter M, I just want to replace with some dollar symbol. You can use the code like this, s1 dot replace M with dollar symbol. So now you can see this, wherever there is letter M, it is going to print. Now s1 dot, so there is a method, so replace again, let's cover with word. Okay, so I just want to replace the word India with CTS example. So now if I execute, you can see India was replaced with CTS. So we have a method first 3, sorry, first of M. Sorry, no, 1 minute. I think left. No. Yeah, we can see. So there are two methods where it is going to search with, starts with and ends with. In case if you want to find out whether this string is going to start with this any specific word or letter, so you can use this start with, it is going to return true or false. If it is starting with I am, it is going to return true. Like the same, so there is a method called ends with. So if you give some string, if that is ending with this string, it is going to return true, otherwise it is going to return false. So it is true. So now whenever there are some special characters, something like this, string s2 is equal to, so this is a string example, s1 dot, let me take one more also. So string s3 is equal to, so we have spaces between left side and right side of the string. So in case if I just want to remove them, so I can use s3 dot trim function. So whenever you apply trim, it will remove the blank spaces from both sides. You can see it is removed. So in case if I want to remove only from the left hand side, you can use trim start method. Then it is going to remove spaces from the left hand side, but right hand side remains the same. So like the same, you have another method, trim end. So where it is going to delete spaces at the ending, but left side remains the same. You can see this. So otherwise, whenever you have some specific characters like this, so then you can use the same method, but you have to use either trim start and trim end. You cannot use that one. Now you can see. So for trim start method, this is s2 string. So for trim start, you can use that character. So if I use dollar, so it is going to remove dollar symbols from the left hand side, but right hand side remains the same. You can see. See this, right hand side remains the same. So in case if I want to remove from the right hand side, so then I can use the method trim end. So I just want to remove from right hand side, left side remains the same, you can see. So but for trim you cannot use any character. So whenever I want to remove from both sides, I can do one thing. So I can apply a method like this, s2 dot trim start off. Again I can pass s2 of trim start end. I can use like this. So then it will remove dollar symbols or any specific symbol from both sides. So now s1 dot pad left. So here you can pass two things, guys. So what is the total number of characters? Suppose my string should be 50 character or 35 characters must. If it is less than that one, so what character you need to append? So you can see I am giving @ symbol. So S1 string should be 35 characters. If it is less than 35, so from left hand side it is going to append with this symbol whatever you are mentioning. I am giving at the red symbol, you can see this one. So these many characters are less for 35. These are characters was included. So like the same, even you can use pad right also, so that it will append the characters in the right hand side. You can see this one. Okay, so padding is nothing but filling the space. Out of 35, how many characters are less, then it is going to append with this. Now S1 dot so there is one more option, index of the letter M inside this S1. Then wherever there is the availability of letter M, the first availability number, you can see that index, you can see on the output screen. So you can say third, because this is 0, 1, 2 and 3, M is the third one. So like the same, you can use last index of, it is going to get whatever the existing of last index. So it is there at index 3 and index 8. So you can see at 8th index you will get as a result. This is the advantage of index of and last index of. And here we have one more method is there, that is what split method. So we are going to use a for each method here. So where it is going to get whatever the string S1 splitting by a space. Wherever there is a space, that is going to take it as a separate word. That word will be moved into this X symbol, I mean whatever the variable, even you can take string also, there is no doubt at all. So if you write the console write line of X, you can see, so I am from India, wherever there is space it is going to split as a separate string. Okay, so this is what split function inside the string. And let me see if any. That's it guys. So remaining methods we are going to cover at the time of LINQ, link in the C#. So I hope this string class is clear. Now let's continue for the next one, that is what datetime class in C#. So datetime class in C#. So datetime is also a data type similar to int, char, float and all those. So we can take datetime, some d1 is equal to, it is not a class guys, you should not use datetime again. So here datetime dot now. So datetime dot now means, so the current date and time, it is going to utilize your system PC and date and time settings. So from your date and time it is going to pick the date, and date and time it is going to print on the screen. Now you can see if I write d1, so in the output you can see the date time of the current, so 2nd and 7th month 2021, 1:45 and 90. So this is the date where you are taking from the system. In case if you want to declare your own date, datetime some d2 is equal to, so you can use datetime dot pass, and you can pass whatever the date format is. So 01 hyphen 05 hyphen 1995 hyphen 14 hours 12 minutes and 15 seconds example. So now if you print this, you can get the date whichever we provided. So you can see this one. So this is how you can work with the data. Again, datetime class contains several methods available. Let's see what are those. So you can get the separate date intervals from this particular date and time. So you can get year. So d1 dot year. D1 is the object of datetime dot now. So like the same, you can get months, and you can get day, and you can get hour, and you can get minute, and you can get second, and you can get millisecond. So these are the different attributes where you can get from date and time. So you can see year, month, date, hour, minute, second, and millisecond. So these are the intervals what we have. And one more thing, while printing the date and time, you can print the date in specific format. So by using this two long date string, so it is going to print only date from a date time. So that too in long format. That is, this is the long format. So month will be printed in alphabet order. So like the same, you have two short date string where it is going to print the date in a short form. So in this way, month, year, date, month, and year. Okay. So like the same, you have two long time string. It will get hour, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds also. You can see. Hours, minutes, and seconds. So if you print in short time string, so it is going to print in this order. So only hours and minutes you will get. Suppose in case if you want to print in your own order, then you can use d1.to string. d1.to string. Inside this you can mention in what format you want to print the date. Small d date, capital M is for month, 4 is year format, small h 12 hours. You can see the description also. Capital H represent 24-hour clock. So minute. So guys, always remember, small m represent minute, capital M represent months. So seconds. After that TT, you are going to get AM or PM in full format. So if you see this, the date is going to be printed as per the format. So one more thing, these slashes will be taken as per your system settings. So now you can see the date will be there, date, month, year, hour, minute, second, AM or PM. So let's change the format, one more format. If I use 3 M's, so then month will be printed in alphabet. You can see July, 3 characters. If you print 4 or more, then month will be printed completely. So July you will get. If it is September, complete September you will get. Okay. So as mentioned, you can use capital H in case if you want to print in 24-hour format. You can see this. Okay. And one more thing. So here there is an option. So I'm taking the second date, a customized date. I given one date, right? So from this I am going to write day of week. So what is the day in that week? So it is Monday. Whatever the date we given, that is a Monday. And so there is one more option, day of year. In that day, starting from January 1st, if you count all calendar days, so what is the count of this current day in that 95 year? So it is 121th day in that particular year, 1995. So this is day of week and day of year. Even you can find out whether the year is leap year or not. So for that you can use datetime dot is leap year method. You need to pass the year which you want to check whether that leap year or not. So I will take d2 dot year, that means in the date 2 whatever the year is there, that I am taking. Even for date 1 also I am passing. I mean this is 2021 is leap year or not, or 1995 is leap year or not, we are going to check now. So both are false, that means both are not leap years. So this is how you can work on. And one more thing guys, whenever you want to read date from the end user, how to read? So suppose enter DOB example. Okay, so then you will take date time, DOB is equal to datetime dot parse of console dot read line. Now if I execute, so since I was not mentioned any specific format, always I need to pass the date as per the system order only, as per my system order only. If I execute, so you can see, so I need to enter 01, so 12th month and 2015, like this. Then there will be no error. Suppose if you interchange, if you are taking your own order, so 12th month, 31st date and 1998 something, then you will get an error, because whenever I use parse method, I have to enter date as per my computer settings. Instead of this one, you can use one more option is there, date time, some DOB is equal to date time dot, there is a method called parse exact. There is a method called parse exact where you can take input where it is coming from, console dot readline. So and in what format they are providing, and the third one, keep it null. So here we are asking enter DOB in this format, dd/mm/yyyy. So then enter the same format here also. You can interchange also, there is no doubt. First you can take month, then you can take date also. So here system will take date of birth as per the mentioned format only. So 31st, 12th month, 1995 example, no error. So parse exact method will be helpful for us for taking the date in some specific format, even hours, minutes also you can consider. And coming to the intervals, whenever so before that let me add one thing. In console write line d1 dot add days. So for the current date, if you add 15,269 days, what will be the date? So it will be, oh, again this is there, let me comment this one. Yeah, now we can check. So if we add 15,000 days to this, so it will be 22nd of April 2063, like that. In case if you want to before 15,000, you can simply add a minus. So then you can see, so it is going to be 1979 September month and 12th is the date. Like that you can add days, add hour, add minutes, add seconds, add nanoseconds, add years also. You can use all intervals of this adding method. Okay, now the last topic of this date time. So whenever you have two date intervals, in case if you want to get the difference between them, so what is the factor we'll use? Suppose, so I want to calculate minus d2, sorry, d1 minus d2. So what is the interval that you are expecting? In case if I want in days, so I can use days, double days equal to, so it will be in double format guys, the result will be always in double format. Now you can print days. Now you will get the difference between the two dates, that is the current date and the date whatever I given here, 1995 May 1st. So it will be 9,558 days are there in between these two time intervals. Like the same you can take hours, minutes, seconds also instead of days. Okay, so this is what about string class and datetime class in our C#.NET. So I hope it is clear. So in next video we can continue the remaining. Thank you.